Just ahead on CTV News.
County Council member Walla Begay gets appointed to the vacant at-large County Council seat. I'm Katara Jones. I'll have everything you need to know about that seat coming up on CTV News.
And the National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory for the region. Plus, a Terps football player has his eyes on the big leagues. Simon Buggs has our Monday sports page. These stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
CTV News for December 29th. I'm Anaya Falcon.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, days after a Prince George's County Council member steps down from his post, the County Council moves to fill the vacancy.
CTV's Katara Jones is standing by in the studio with more.
The Prince George's County Council picks its replacement for the at-large county council position that was made vacant by Calvin Hawkins. The council, in a virtual special meeting this morning, appointed Walla Begay in a unanimous 9-0 vote. Begay, a Democrat, currently represents District 6 on the council and has a year left on her term. Another special meeting will have to be held to fill the District 6 vacancy. Now, Begay, a lawyer, has been an advocate of residents understanding their legal rights and sits on the Data Centers Task Force. She will serve the remainder of Hawkins' term on the council, which is set to end on December 5th of next year. Now, Hawkins announced his resignation from the council effective December 22nd after 7 years on the body. Hawkins isn't done with county government just yet. He will be joining the office of the county executive, working as an assistant deputy chief administrative officer for economic development. Now, continue to follow CTV News as we keep you updated on the changes happening in Prince George's County government. Back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Katara. No word yet on when Walla Begay will resign from her position as the county council member representing District 6. Residents to fill this new vacancy must submit a letter of interest, a resume, and must be a registered voter for at least a year. The deadline to be considered is set for January 2nd at 5 p.m.
And in other news, a Laurel man is now in custody for the murder of his mother. 22-year-old Freddie Grijalva Hernandez is charged with the first-degree murder of 44-year-old Maria Hernandez Gonzalez. The incident happened on Saturday night at the 8100 block of Gorman Avenue. Officers were responding to a welfare check when they found her suffering from trauma. She died on the scene, and the suspect was quickly located and arrested. He is currently being held on a no-bond status.
And many tenants at the Marylander condominiums are still without heat, more than a month after it went out. Property management says vandals linked to a nearby homeless camp severely damaged the building's boiler system just before Thanksgiving, and it now needs to be replaced. Casar Property Management says it cannot get financing for the repair until the camp is removed, with lenders calling it a safety risk. Prince George's County issued a vacate order for the buildings earlier this month because of the lack of heat, but some families stayed. Police say they will enforce trespassing and other crimes, but removing homeless camps is not their role.
The National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory for the region. Wind gusts are expected to reach as high as 48 miles per hour. Isolated wind damage may result in some power outages, so make sure to bring in or secure any outside objects. Tree limbs may also break and cause delays tomorrow morning. Winds this strong can make driving difficult, especially for those with high-profile vehicles, and the advisory will be in effect through late this evening. Meanwhile, healthcare leaders in Maryland are more than ready to turn the page on 2025, a year many described as stressful and at times frustrating. Rapid federal policy shifts under the Trump administration, a looming state budget deficit, and uncertainty around Medicaid, hospital payments, and Medicare Advantage plans all collided. Now, while lawmakers managed to soften some of the blows, Advocates warn many of those pressures aren't going away, setting the stage for another tough fight when the legislature returns in 2026.
And in election news, one of the bigger stories this year concerned partisan gerrymandering. You'll recall President Trump pushed Republican state lawmakers to gerrymander their state's congressional maps. That move prompted some Democratic states to respond in kind. While some state courts have long heard map-related lawsuits, the U.S. Supreme Court has all but taken federal courts out of the business of reviewing redrawn maps this year. So far this year, several states have adopted new congressional maps. Maryland Governor Wes Moore continues his push for a new congressional map despite some blowback. And after a half of century as the FBI's main headquarters, the J. Edgar Hoover building in D.C. is closing for good. FBI Director Kash Patel made the announcement on Friday. The agency had announced in July that it would abandon the Hoover building and move a few blocks away to the Ronald Reagan building on Pennsylvania Avenue. Patel says the move will save taxpayers billions of dollars that would have been spent before on a new FBI headquarters in Greenbelt. In November, Maryland leaders sued the Trump administration after it got rid of plans to move the Bureau's headquarters to Greenbelt and opted instead to keep it in downtown D.C. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Anaya Falcon.
And I'm Michaela Newton. Still to come, New Year's Day is just 3 days away.
That's right, and with the new year comes new laws in the state of Maryland. Stay tuned to find out what they are. We'll be back in a moment.
Come on, move. Of course, there aren't any spots. A few minutes won't hurt anybody. Thanks, Grandma.
Paralyzed Veterans of America works tirelessly every day to create a more accessible America. Let's leave the accessible spaces to the people who actually need them. Whatever the reason, excuses don't excuse. Join PVA and be part of the solution. Honor the spot.
Hi, I'm Elijah. In the summer, I like playing basketball on the trampoline. When I'm hungry, it affects me. Like, if I'm trying to read, I'll go to sleep, or if I'm trying to do something around class, I'll get distracted. When I grow up, I want to be a robotic engineer. I want to build robots that can help around the house. Helping people makes me feel proud of myself.
We are just days away from the new year, and several new laws will go into effect in the state of Maryland.
Our Jonathan Hunter walks us through some of the changes that you can expect to see in 2026.
Starting in 2026, firefighters in Maryland will have more protections thanks to the James Jimmy Malone Act. The new law requires counties that offer self-insured employee health plans to provide coverage for preventative cancer screenings. This means firefighters will not be responsible for paying for co-pays or deductibles. Research shows firefighters have a greater risk of getting certain types of cancers due to the smoke and hazardous chemicals they are exposed to. The bill is named after former state delegate James Jimmy Malone Jr., a former firefighter that died from brain cancer at the age of 67. That is just one of the many new laws that passed during last year's General Assembly.
For analysis as only NFL Network can deliver.
Another key law that goes into effect mandates barbers and hairstylists to undergo domestic violence training. Under House Bill 1547, Barbers and cosmetologists have to complete 1 hour of training on domestic violence awareness in order to receive or renew their professional license. Barbers and hairstylists tend to talk about deep and personal issues, so the belief is they can be trained to recognize the signs of physical and verbal abuse and then provide their clients with local resources. Another key law that goes into effect is House Bill 1086. The bill ensures there are no time limits for medical insurers on anesthesia coverage. This means if your insurance agrees to cover anesthesia, they have to provide it for the entire medical procedure. That way, no one is left with a surprise medical bill at the end of the day. And these are just some of the new laws to pay attention to in the new year. Jonathan Hunter, CTV News.
And the new General Assembly session begins on January 14th. Be sure to stay tuned with CTV News as we cover the latest updates. And the 23-day strike by ATU Local 689 has ended. Drivers with Battles Transportation RH Group walked off the job on December 4th after months of working without a contract. Both sides locked horns over wages and benefits. Talks continued for weeks, with workers unanimously ratifying the contracts on Friday. Unionized employees provide bus service for veterans, armed forces employees, and retirees of federal agencies.
Maryland's public universities are seeing a noticeable drop in international students, down by at least 449 over the past year. Experts point to the Trump administration's travel bans, visa pauses and cancellations, and growing uncertainty around immigration policy as key factors. The University of Maryland College Park saw the largest decline, losing nearly 300 students, while UMBC lost more than 200, mostly at the graduate level. Advocates warn the trend could impact research, innovation, and campus culture as more students look to countries like Canada or the UK instead.
And President Trump's administration has moved to cancel temporary legal status for more than 1.5 million immigrants this year. The decision affects people granted temporary protected status and humanitarian parole, programs that allowed them to live and work legally in the U.S. The change strips those immigrants of work permits and deportation protections, putting many at risk of being forced to leave the country. Immigration experts say it's one of the largest and fastest rollbacks of legal status in the U.S. history. Multiple lawsuits are now challenging the move.
And as we head into the new year, millions of Americans are getting a look at when their Social Security checks will arrive in January. Payment dates depend largely on your birthday and when you first started receiving benefits. Now, for those who began collecting before May of 1997, payments go out Friday, January 2nd. If your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th, you'll be paid January 14th. And birthdays from the 11th through the 20th are paid January 21st, and those born after the 20th can expect payments on January 28th.
And after a tough 2025 legislative session, climate activists in Maryland say they are looking forward to the 2026 session. This year, lawmakers passed measures that would allow in-state energy generation with plans to bolster solar panels and battery shortage technology. But lawmakers also opened the door for expedited permitting of a new gas-fired plant in Maryland, which would likely place the state's climate goals out of reach. Advocates are preparing to push hand for bills that will advance solar energy and battery technology amid Trump administration attacks that will end key subsidies for renewables in 2026. And still to come on CTV News, the season of gift giving is officially over.
That's right, and whether you're returning the wrong size boots or a jacket that just wasn't your color, we have details on how to save money on your returns. We'll be right back.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future, in a world that's changing fast. For all of the things you may one day do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do learn from your mistakes. And challenge yourself to grow. Do not be afraid or make decisions based in fear. Do it all with confidence and with kindness and strength. Do call your mom and ask her for advice. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing it. I love you always, Mom. Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future, in a world that's changing fast. For all of the things you may one day do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do learn from your mistakes. And challenge yourself to grow. Do not be afraid. Or make decisions based in fear. Do it all with confidence and with kindness and strength. Do call your mom and ask her for advice. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing it. I love you always, Mom.
You may have heard that the American Legion helps honor our fallen heroes.
Or that the American Legion helped write the GI Bill, enabling veterans to get a college education.
And yeah, you've heard us tell a good story or two.
But did you know that the American Legion does so much more for our veterans?
From advocacy on Capitol Hill to serving others in our communities, the American Legion continues its tradition of strengthening America through service.
Learn more about supporting veterans in your community by visiting legion.org.
The newest member of the Bowie Police Department is getting the pleasure of honoring a former first responder. The 4-month-old bloodhound puppy has been named Sully in honor of former PFC James Lee Sullivan, also known as Sully. There was a small ceremony at Bowie City Hall on Christmas Eve to mark the joyous occasion. Sullivan was a firefighter with the Prince George's County Fire Department for more than 20 years and later joined the Bowie Police Department, where he served until he passed away in 2021.
And meanwhile, the city of Laurel has announced its Holiday Spirit Award winners. Residents showcase their holiday spirit with creative and festive home decorations. Laurel City Council members toured neighborhoods and recognized residents who helped make Laurel bright and joyful for the holidays. Homes were recognized for displays that reflected creativity, community pride, and season cheer. And if you have any Christmas gifts to return by mail, be prepared. More stores are charging customers to return items by mail as the cost of shipping continues to rise. According to the National Retail Federation, 72% of all merchants surveyed have started charging for at least one return by mail option over the past year. Now, if returning a purchase from Macy's, TJ Maxx, or Marshall's, be prepared to pay about $10 to return a purchase online. And companies like Best Buy may charge extra to return devices that require activation, like smartphones or laptops. The best way to get the best bang for your buck is to return in-store for free.
And the 37th Annual Whammy Music Awards are set for March 28th of next year at Capitol Turnaround in Southeast DC. Right now, organizers are in the midst of nominations and voting season, and they're urging music artists, venues, and community groups across the DMV to get involved. The Whammies celebrate 19 genres of music, spotlighting local talent from Frederick to Fredericksburg and from Ashburn to Annapolis. Organizers say every submission helps support local artists and free music education for DC youth.
Our youth, we hope, will through our programs, be exposed to music or other career passions in music, and then, perhaps they themselves are going for a whammy. We do have a youth artist category, and, actually some youth from our program have gone for that award. So, we're really just trying to feed into the community as much as we can, into the DMV music scene, as multifaceted as it is, to do what we can to, give everyone else a shot.
The nomination window closes on Wednesday, and self-nominations are encouraged. For more information, visit whammies.org. As the new year comes to an end, you may have heard us report on many recalls from foods, appliances, and even cars.
But do you know which car brand had the most recalls this year? Well, coming in first place is Ford with a total of 152 recalls and 12.75 million vehicles affected, breaking a decade-old industry record.
Their biggest recall was for a distorted or blank image on the rearview mirror when the car is in reverse. Most of the vehicle models affected ranged from 2015 to 2019. And now we're headed to the skies. The ranking for the top airports for traveler amenities has just been released, from sit-down dining, average meal cost, number of shops, and lounges. Which one is the best?
Well, only one from the region have made it to the top 10. Reagan National came in 9th place for its 22 luxury lounges. Dulles International came in 13th, and BWI Thurgood Marshall in 30th, coming in first. Well, coming in first was the Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport. Now, this was super surprising to me because I know Atlanta came in, I think, 8th, but BWI Airport, I think, can do a better job at having like more dining options, things like that, you know?
Yeah, I was pretty sad to see BWI down so low on the list.
Yeah.
But it's a good airport. I still love it.
Yeah. All right, well, still to come on CTV News.
Simon Buggs has our Monday sports page, and I hear a local football player has his eyes on the big leagues. What's going on today, Simon?
I have some exciting news for you on sports page today, as a player from the UMD football team has declared for the NFL draft. Find out who when we come back.
It's traumatizing when you have a sick child. Then you are tired, very, very tired. The doctors told us, you are a part of the medical team. You need to sleep, eat, drink, shower, because when you are healthy, you can take care of your child. The Ronald McDonald House is next to the hospital. They have a washing machine, kitchen, beds were very good, but it's also being with parents of other children that are sick. So you can talk and you can cry and maybe you can laugh, but it's very important for healing yourself. The house understood what our needs were. There was someone that gave you a hug, a cup of tea, and that's very important, just to have someone who is taking care of you a little bit.
Are you looking for more in this world? Then we are looking for you. The big-hearted, the bold, those driven by purpose. We are the Peace Corps, volunteers, partners, communities in more than 60 countries, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you ready to serve boldly, to go the distance to make a difference? Then we have a place where you belong. Join us.
We are the keepers of the wild. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving the natural landscapes that define our nation. Nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters. Together with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. So get out there and enjoy.
What's going on, sports fans? Hope everyone had a good Christmas. It's time for your Monday sports page. Now, if y'all haven't been paying attention, the Flowers girls basketball team has been killing it to start the season. Right now, the Lady Jags are 5-0, and the final score of these games aren't even close. I mean, they're just blowing out teams left and right, you guys. And while a big reason for Flowers' hard start to the season is the talent on their roster, head coach Roderick Harrison deserves recognition too for making sure his girls play up to the Flowers standard. And some players on the team told me what it's like being coached by Harrison.
First, it can be daunting because he's a very respected coach and he will tell you exactly what he wants you to do. And he doesn't really care if it makes you feel a certain way, which is good because you need that tough criticism in order to get better. So coaching under him, I think I wouldn't want to go to any other school.
It's fun. He's a great coach. He really teaches. He tries to make sure we understand everything. And for my 4 years of being here, he's really helped improve me as a player and a leader. And he's really helped me come out of my shell and be more vocal and become a better basketball player.
It's kind of hectic. It gets hectic sometimes. You have to you can't be soft. This is high school basketball, so you just have to have that character and pride.
Meanwhile, a player from the Terps football team is looking to go to the big leagues as wide receiver Octavian Smith Jr. has announced that he will declare for the 2026 NFL Draft. The Paint Branch High School graduate is coming off a solid season in College Park, recording 43 receptions, which was good enough for third on the team, and 529 yards, which was a career high. And with those 529 yards, he passed the 1,000 career receiving yards mark. Smith will take the field next in the Hula Bowl, which is an all-star game for the top senior prospects, along with teammate Jaleel Farouk. The Orioles also made headlines over the holiday weekend, re-signing pitcher Zach Eflin to a one-year, $10 million deal. The right-hander will look to add some rotation depth to the Birds in 2026. The O's acquired the vet in a deal with the Tampa Bay Rays back in 2024 and helped the Birds finish the season at 91-71 and lock up an American League wildcard berth. But with a 2025 season that was marred by injuries, hopefully the 31-year-old can bounce back and help the Black and Orange get back to the postseason in 2026. And wrapping up sports, the Washington Wizards will host the Phoenix Suns tonight. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. And that wraps up your Monday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports. See y'all tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Simon. Let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. As mentioned earlier, we are under a wind advisory until 1 a.m., so we could see wind gusts as high as 48 miles per hour, and we have a 60% chance of rain. Tomorrow, it'll be mostly sunny and breezy with a high of 36. Wind speeds are expected to reach 41 miles per hour. And Wednesday for New Year's Eve, it'll be partly sunny with a high of 43 and a low of 26. We have a 20% chance of snow after 1 a.m. Thursday, New Year's Day, it's going to be 35 degrees and mostly cloudy.
And for our community calendar, let's not forget about our furry friends this holiday season. This Wednesday is the last day to donate to the Bowie's Ice Arena's Paws and Claws donation drive. Bring unopened dog or cat food, unopened cat litter, or dog and cat toys to receive a coupon for a free public session. For more information, contact the arena at 301-809-3090.
And have a story to tell? You can reach out to our CTV News tip line.
Just give us a call at 301-386-4085, or you can send an email to ctvnews@pgctv.org. As always, we look forward to hearing from you.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for CTV News. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.